Hello everyone, in this video we're going to discuss how to reverse an array in two approaches. So if you haven't watched the previous videos on arrays, or if you haven't watched the previous video itself, then I request you to please watch that video. So let's get started.
So the first thing we need to understand here is what is the problem statement. Problem statement in the sense, let me write this. Okay, problem statement in the sense, what do you mean by reversing an array? You know what an array is. We always take this example 3, 5, 7, 9 and 11. So what do you mean by reversing an array? Reversing an array in the sense printing all the elements of an array in reverse order. So that is 11, 9, 7, 5 and 3. This might look very pretty basic, but it is very important. It is always very important to understand the problem statement. So that is why I'm telling. So getting back, we have two approaches to do this particular thing. The first is using for loop, and the second one is the iterative approach. The iterative approach, where we don't use any, extra memory, or we don't use any extra space. All right. So this is the second approach. Regarding this second approach, we will talk later on, but first of all, let's talk about the first approach. So let's look at the steps or the algorithm of this particular program. So the first step would be taking the user input. We need to take user input of array. I'm sorry if my handwriting is dirty, I'm writing too fast. So first of all, we have to take the user input of an array, and the second thing is, okay, let's say that we print the array so that you can differentiate between which is the array you have provided and which is the reverse array. And the third thing which you do is you use the reverse for loop. I think you might be aware of this. So you know that, right? For int I equals arr dot length, starting from the starting from the last value and going till first value and printing everything. So we use this particular thing and we print the whole array in reverse fashion. So let's look at this code on our IDE. So the first thing which we need to do is take user inputs. So for that, for the first input we need to take is, and here int n equals sc dot next int. Wait, I didn't initiate the scanner class first. So int n equals sc dot next int. After this, to create an array, int arr equals new int n. This is an array of size n. Now we need to take for that, for int I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus. I'm not explaining these things deeper because I assume that you already know this. If you don't have any idea of these, then please do watch my videos on arrays so that you get a very clear idea of what I'm doing here. Okay, so here we have taken in the values. Now let's do the main program, which is the reversal. You know, we need to print arr of I. After reversal are the values after reversal are, and we are printing everything. This particular thing I will explain. Now this is the main program in this particular approach. This is the main program. So here what is happening is, first of all, let's take an array. Okay, so let me draw an array here. Okay, so here we have 5 elements. For int I equals arr.length minus 1. So here you know that these are the indices 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Arr.length is the size of the array. So there are 5 elements here. So 5 and arr.length minus 1. So it is 5 minus 1, which is equal to 4. So the traversing starts from this particular element and it goes on till I greater than or equal to 0. So it goes on till here and I minus minus. So it goes on in this fashion: first 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0, and we are saying to print arr of I. So how does this work? It works in this way: first the element 4 gets printed, then the element 3 gets printed, then 2, then 1 and then 0. We are back at our IDE. Now let's try executing this particular code. To enter the size of the array, so it is 5. Here we need to enter the elements 3, 5, 7, 9 and 11. So here it is showing the values after reversal are 11, 9, 7, 5 and 3. Now let's understand the second approach, which is the iterative approach. First of all, we'll look at the algorithm, which is first we need to take the input, and secondly here there is something different we have to do. First thing is we have to take two variables called as start, end, and we have to also take a temporary variable. For example, this is the array which we are taking in. So here we have to take the start, end and temp variables, and then using the while loop we write a main program after which the numbers are reversed. Like, I am going to explain this main program anyways again, so I'm not discussing this here. So let's look at this program on our IDE. Now let's directly get back to the main program, because taking in the values of array is the same thing like we have done previously. So first we have to take a variable called temp, and after that create a variable called start and equate this to 0, and we create a variable called as end, which will be equal to n minus 1, where n is the size of the array. So basically in an array, start will be pointing to the first value, the 0th index, and the n will be pointing to the last index. So while start is less than end, I have to swap the values. Temp equals arr of start. We are swapping the values of the starting index and the ending index. And what we do is start plus plus and end minus minus. After we do this, values after reversal are for int I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus, arr of I. So this particular thing is fine. Now let's understand the main program. So this is the main program. Now first thing I'll do is I'll draw an array. So here it is saying int start equals 0 and int end equals n minus 1. So basically what is happening here is the start is pointing here and end is pointing here. N minus 1 means, right, n is the size of the array. So here it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So while start is less than end, start is 0 and end is 4. So this condition is satisfied. 4 is greater than 0. So you get inside this loop. So here it is temp equals array of start equals array of end, and array of end equals temp. So basically this is nothing but swapping. So what is happening here is the value at start position is getting swapped with the value at end position. So here it will be 11 and then 5 and 7, then 9, and here it will be 3. After this, what we are saying is start plus plus and end minus minus. So start plus plus means we are moving the start position here and we are moving the end position here. After this, what is going to happen? 9 is going to come here and 5 is going to come here. So let me draw the final output. So this will be the final output. So 11 will be here, and in place of 5 it will be 9, and 7 will be as it is, and in place of 9 it will be 5, and here it will be 3. So finally all the values got swapped. So this is the working of this particular program.
I hope this video is very much clear. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. We'll meet in the next one.